Hello and welcome. My name is Tiffany Grove, and we're here at First Unity Spiritual Campus for our noon meditation. So let's just get started in a nice, comfortable seated position wherever you may be. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then just exhale, begin to release, let it go. So you can keep the eyes closed if you want to, or partially open, tuning into the body and just being with the breath here. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, release. Deepening the breath as we go. Breathing here into this space. Noticing the body. So notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness. Moving from the crown of the head all the way down to the toes. Notice the body. Breathe into it. And then release and let go. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, release. Now notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness in the top of the head. Breathing here into this space. Releasing into this space and letting it go. And then noticing if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness in the face, in the jaw. And if you are, we're just going to take a few deep breaths here. Sending it throughout the whole entire body. Releasing and letting go. Noticing if you're holding on to anything in the throat chakra here. Maybe swallowing to release and let go. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then just exhale, begin to soften the throat. Moving down the body. Notice your chest. Notice where your heart is. Are you holding on to any tension, any tightness here? And if you are, that's okay. Just breathing into that space. Releasing and letting go. Open and expand the heart. Notice if they roll up, back, and around. Feel your shoulder blades slide down the back. Release any tension, any tightness here. Stay with the breath. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then just exhale, begin to release, let it go. Open the shoulders. And then notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness in the rib cage. Opening and expanding here. Staying with the breath. Noticing the lower back. Notice if you're holding on to anything here. Maybe adjusting the body where you're sitting. Breathing into this space. And then releasing and letting go. Opening and expanding. And then moving all the way down to the hips. Notice if you're holding on to anything here in your root chakra. Breathing here into this space. Releasing into this space and letting it go. Moving down the body. Moving into the legs, into the thighs. Notice if you're holding on to anything here. Breathe into this space. Release into this space. And then noticing the knees here. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness here in the kneecaps. Breathe here. Release here and let it go. Noticing the shins. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness here. Moving all the way down to the ankles. Breathing here into this space. Releasing and letting go. Moving all the way down to the feet. Breathe into this space. Release and let it go. Notice the whole body. Notice if there's a spot that you're holding on to, or if you have any tension or tightness here. Breathing into this space. And then notice your breath here. Notice if it's deep and goes throughout the whole entire body, or if it just goes into the chest, getting stuck in the throat. Just noticing, taking a nice deep breath in. Fill and expand the whole entire body here. And breathe into this space. Open into this space. We're going to take 10 deep belly breaths here. Filling the whole entire body. Expanding the heart. Expanding the lungs. Expanding the belly. So again, breathe into this space. Expand into this space. And then just let it go. Staying with the breath here. You can either take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale, begin to release out the mouth. Or you can take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out the mouth. Staying with the breath here. Releasing. and letting go. Deepen the breath. Expand the heart. And just open here. Allow the breath to move through the body. Allow the breath to help you expand. And then just release and let go. Breathing into this space. Stay with the breath. Breathe here. Soften the body. And then notice where the mind starts to go when the body stops. Notice. And without judgment, stay with the breath. Taking a deep breath in, expanding the body. Let it go. And then noticing if the mind starts to wander, and not to judge it, just to become aware of our patterns, our habits and stories. Breathe here for a moment. Release into this space. And then just start to become curious of what starts to pop up. Instead of judging or labeling. Take a few deep breaths here. And breathe into this space. Release into this space and let it go. Notice. So noticing your resistance, noticing your stories. Stay with the breath. And if you'd like to start to come into some of your visualization, starting to notice in the mind what brings you joy, what brings you happiness. And so at first starting to notice it in the mind and then feeling it in the body. So just picture it in the mind. Those little details. As if you're there. And you can do that, or you can either just stay with the breath, deepening those inhalations and the exhalations. Wherever you are today, just noticing, stay with the breath. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, begin to release it out, let it go. Coming back to that breath work. Grounding yourself here in your practice. Breathe here. Release here and let it go. Notice. Expand. And then coming back to your visualization. I want you to start to feel it in the body. How does it feel to be in this moment? Filled with joy, with peace. How does that feel? And then just sit with that for a moment. Stay with the breath. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, begin to release, let it go. Breathe here. So starting to feel that joy, that peace inside the body. What does that feel like? Are you standing up tall? Is your heart open? Do you have a smile on your face? Are you filled with joy? And what does that look like in your body? We're gonna sit with that for a few moments here. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, release and expand. Stay with the breath here. Picturing in the mind. Feeling it in the body. And then sitting with that for a moment. Stay with the breath. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, begin to release, let it go. Release into this space. So again, just notice. Start to notice if anything pops up. Maybe it's resistance. Maybe it's a story. Just noticing. Letting that be your teacher and your guide. Breathing into this space. Releasing and letting go. And just opening and expanding. Breathe here. Release here. So coming back to that visualization. Back to your happy place or what brings you joy. I want you to start to notice where you are. Start to picture it in the mind. Stay with it with the breath. And then notice how that feels in the body. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, begin to release, let it all go here. Open and expand. Release and let go. Stay with the breath here. And then just start to notice coming back to that visualization. Notice the people around you. What do you see? What are you surrounded by? And then what do you smell? Again, what are you surrounded by? Sit with it for a moment. Stay with the breath. And then move throughout the whole entire body here. Breathe into this space. And then just open and let go. So coming back to that visualization, notice. So noticing all the sounds around you. Maybe it's people laughing, talking, whatever it may be. Put yourself in that scenario. Feel it in the body, and then stay with it in the breath. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, begin to release, let it all go. Open the heart. Open the chest. Stay with the breath here. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, release. Again, expanding here. Releasing here. Just noticing. And then coming back to that visualization. Just noticing how that feels in the body. Focusing on the sounds around you, the smells around you. What you see and what you hear. And then literally putting yourself in that situation. Seeing it in your mind. And then being with it with the breath. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, begin to release, let it all go here. Release the shoulders, release the neck and back. Open and expand. Notice and release. Stay with the breath. Take 10 deep belly breaths here. Grounding the body. Staying with your visualization. And then just breathing here. Releasing here and letting it go. Open and expand. Release and let go. Deep in the breath. So if you want to take the right hand to the heart, left hand to the belly, you can. Feel those shoulder blades slide down the back. Taking a few deep belly breaths here. Feeling as the heart expands, the ribs expand, and then the belly expands as well. Breathe into this space. Release into this space and let it go. Notice as your heart beats underneath that right hand. And as your belly starts to expand and fall underneath the left. Deepen the breath. If you want to keep the hands where they are, you can, or you can bring them down by the side. Start to notice if anything starts to pop up. This is a good time to notice if we have any resistance, if we have any stories or patterns that pop up. And without judging them, just become curious about them. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release, expand here. Expanding the heart, expanding the ribs, expanding the belly. Be with the breath. Release into this space. And then let it go. Notice, release. Start to focus on the breath here. Deepening the breath. And then letting it go. Noticing and releasing. So at the beginning of the practice, we scan the body. Just noticing if we're holding on to tension or tightness. Becoming aware of where we hold it in ourselves. So just want you to start to scan the body again and notice if you're holding on. Maybe it's in the shoulders or the hips. Maybe it's in the feet or the ankles. Wherever it may be, we're just going to begin to release, let go. And just soften those areas of the body. Breathe here. Release here. So staying with the breath here throughout the next 10 deep breaths. We're going to scan from the bottom of the feet up to the top of the head. If you want to do a tense and release, you can start to squeeze the body part that I'm talking about and then release it as well to release any emotions, any tightness. Well, focusing on the feet here, notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness in the feet. Again, you can scrunch up the feet if that feels good, releasing them and letting it go. Send the breath to those tighter, tense spots. Noticing the ankles. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness here. So think about tensing up the ankles if you want to. And then just releasing and letting go. Throughout this practice, stay with the breath. Release the body. Release the mind. So moving into those shins, notice if you're holding on to anything here. You can tense them up. And then start to release that body part. Releasing it, letting it go. And then noticing the knees here. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness here. Breathe into this space. Release into this space and let it go. So moving up to the thighs, notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness here. Tensing up the body. And then just releasing and letting go. Moving into the hips. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness here. Breathing here into this space. Releasing into this space. So noticing where your root chakra is. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness there. Feeling it connected to the earth or the seat that you're in. Releasing and letting go. So notice your lower back. Notice if you're holding on to anything here. Breathe into this space. Release into this space and let it go. Moving into the belly. Tensing and releasing the belly. Releasing any tension, any tightness that you're holding on to. Breathe here. Release here and let it go. We're moving all the way up to the rib cage. Notice here. Release here and let it go. Deepen the breath. Be in this space. And then moving all the way up. Notice your back, the middle of your back. If you're holding on to any tension, any tightness here. Breathing into this space. Releasing into this space and letting it go. Open. Release. And then moving all the way up to the chest. Notice if you're holding on here. Tensing and releasing, letting it go. Maybe feel those shoulder blades slide up, back, and around. Opening your heart. Take a few deep breaths here. Breathe into this space. Release into this space and let it go. So moving all the way up to the upper back where the shoulders are. Notice if you hold on to anything here. Breathe here. Release here. Open and expand. And then notice the throat. Notice if you're holding on to anything in your throat. Maybe swallowing a few times to release and let go. And breathing here into this space. Releasing into this space. Let it go. So noticing going up to the face and the jaw. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness here. You can tense and release the jaw, letting it go. And then moving up in between the eyebrows, where the third eye is. Maybe tense and release that space, releasing the mind. Stay with the breath. And then noticing the top of the head here. Just releasing, letting go here. Breathing into this space. So we're going to move down the arms, working at the top of the shoulders here. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, any tightness in the shoulders. Breathe here. Release here. And then moving down towards the elbows. Breathe into this space. Moving down towards the forearm. And then if you want to tense and release the hands, you can start to do that, releasing any tension, any tightness you might be holding on to. So breathing into this space. Release and let it go. And then just notice the body, releasing all the muscles, releasing the mind, and just coming back to that breath. Inhale, and then just exhale, begin to release. Deepen the breath. Find that connection. And then just stay here for a moment. And breathe into this space. Open the heart, open the chest. Expand here. So from here, if you want, we're going to open up the spinal column, going down from the root chakra up to the crown. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in. If you're in a chair, you're just going to take that right hand back behind you. Left hand's going to come on that right side of the thigh, and you're just going to find a nice spinal twist here. Going all the way up the spine, so you're pushing down into your chair. Lifting up. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, twist a little bit deeper. If you want to take that gaze out over that right shoulder, you can. We're here for 3 deep belly breaths. So think about releasing the spine. Stay with the breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to go over to the other side. So slowly begin to release that spinal column. That left hand's going to come back behind you. Right hand's going to come to that left thigh. Again, you're lifting and lengthening the spine. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Working from that root chakra all the way up to the crown. So pushing down and then lifting all the way up. Take one more deep breath here. And when you're ready, we'll come back to center. So start to feel your spinal column, grounding down your 6 bone into the chair, and then lifting up here. So lifting up on the core, lifting up on the rib cage, lifting up on the chest, and then feel those shoulder blades slide up, back, and around. Open the throat, open the chest. If you want to bring your palms face up as your willingness to receive, you can do that, or whatever is comfortable for you. And then just breathing into that spinal column. Feeling as if someone's pulling you by a string, lifting you all the way up to the top. Breathing here. Releasing here. And letting it go. Coming back to that breath. So again, whatever works for you here, maybe it's a deep breath in through the nose and then exhale, release out the mouth. Or maybe it's an inhale through the nose, inhale in, and exhale, release out the mouth. Wherever you are, let's deepen that breath. And then just exhale, begin to release, begin to expand. And then I want you to start to notice, does your mind start to go somewhere? Maybe it's your to-do list, maybe it's a situation, a habit. Wherever it is, just notice. Notice what you give your attention to. And without judgment, just knowing, becoming aware, and then staying with the breath here. Deepen the breath. Feel grounded in your chair. Open up the shoulders. Open up the throat. Expand, release, and let go. If you want to bring that left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly, you always can. Focusing on the breath. Focusing as the belly starts to expand underneath that right hand. And how the heart begins to expand underneath the left. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Deepening the breath. So again, if you want to keep the hands here, you can, or you can start to bring them off by the side. Breathe here. Open up here. Expand and let go. And then just start to notice. Notice and become aware. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, begin to release, let it go. Just calming down the central nervous system here, staying with the breath. And then just start to notice. If you want to come back into your visualization, you can. If you want to stay where you are, you can stay where you are. Just noticing in the mind. Noticing where the mind starts to go, and then coming back to that visualization. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, begin to release, let it go. Breathe here. Open here and expand. You're becoming aware of the body, Noticing again if you're holding on. Noticing if it's the same place or a different place. Stay with the breath. Release and let go. And breathe into this space. Feeling yourself connected here in the chair, starting to lift up. Notice as one vertebrae starts to stack on the other, as the chakras become aligned. And then just stay with the breath for a moment. Deepen the breath. Moving through the body. Releasing into this space and letting it go. So we're just going to end out the class with 10 deep belly breaths, letting them be the fullest expression of your practice, expanding the body as much as possible. Breathing into the heart, breathing into the chest, releasing and letting go, and then just start to notice, start to release. Knowing that you can always come back to your practice, back to your breath throughout your day. That your visualization's always here for you. Feeling it in the body, being with it in the breath. Deepen the breath here. Exhale, release, and let it go. So we're just going to begin to bring the hands to heart center, just noticing how we feel, staying with the breath here. I'd like to thank you for being here today. The divine in me sees the divine in you. Namaste. Again, my name's Tiffany Grove. Thank you for being here. Check out our website for some great events that are happening on campus. Also, there is a yellow donation button that you can give to for online donations, and there's also a donation box in the back. Thank you again.